clock. Don Iverson, do you want to take it away?
Sure. Thanks, Tom. I got to welcome everyone that came to today's event. We're obviously challenging some times right now with the COVID virus, and I really want to thank you for all showing up and participating today. Really, just want to welcome to our YouTube channel event, kind of like the kickoff, if you will, of the Western Section annual meeting that we're going to hold virtually this year in September. I'm Don Iverson. I represent Schneider Square D, but most importantly, I'm your public relations chair for the section. So as we get started here this afternoon, I really want to just go around the screen here and just reacquaint you all with those on the screen here. And Mr. Moore, kick it off.
Thank you, Don. Welcome, everyone. I am Tom Moore, the Assistant Secretary Treasurer for the Western Section.
And Tim McClintock.
Thanks, Don, and welcome everybody to this very important event. I'm Tim McClintock, and I'm the Midwest Field Representative for NEMA. Also serve on the Western Section Board of Directors, and I am your Western Section Membership Chair.
And the most honorable Mike Forrester.
Thank you for that deference. I'm Mike Forrester, and I am the Secretary Treasurer for the Western Section. Welcome, everybody.
And Mr. Dimitrovich.
Thanks, Don. I am the Education Chair for the Western Section. Happy to be here, and can't wait to get this thing started. So I think that covers me. I work for Eaton. I think everybody knows that too. So thanks.
All right. So Tim, how about if we just begin the program off with just talking to the group that are logged in today about the education. Let's go with that, or how would you want to do that? It's up to you. I'm gonna let you roll with it, Tim.
Sure. Thanks, Don. As Don mentioned, we are in challenging times. Well, challenging times call for creative measures. And, it was actually at the direction of the Board of Directors for the Western Section to leverage the technology that we have at our disposal in the World Wide Web to provide you with some excellent educational training and holding the Western Section meeting virtually. Our agenda for today's online event will include an historical perspective from Mr. Forrester, and then following Mike's presentation, we're just going to have a brief roundtable discussion on the direction of training in the Western Section. We'll provide you also with an overview of the education program agenda, and Tom Dimitrovich is going to walk you through how to actually register for one or more of those education segments. And then finally, we'll provide a little time to field any questions that may come in on the line. Before I hand it over to Mike, I want to thank Mr. Dimitrovich for his hard work. He's kind of our IT guy doing all the work in the background, and we appreciate everything Tom's done to bring this to the forefront. Also want to thank the Board of Directors for being forward thinking and setting things in motion for this virtual training. So without further ado, the Honorable Mr. Forrester, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Tim. The COVID-19 virus has caused many changes and questions in our lives this past 6 months, and the end is not yet in sight. The Western Section is providing a virtual meeting for its members and guests as a result of the pandemic-caused cancellation of our annual meeting. Virtual meetings are not exactly a new thing. They have been around a while. The ironic thing is they were slowly developing as a training aid when the pandemic struck without warning. A new method of education was a necessity for members of our industry. A great percentage of our industry are licensed and require continuing education. We hope this endeavor will fill a need and believe it will become quite popular in the future. I have witnessed many changes in our industry and the industry's education requirements and instruction methods in the 63 years that I have been associated. I began my JATC apprenticeship in 1957 in Cheyenne, Wyoming. The apprenticeship included 4 years of related training. The related training was held in night school in the local high school. The only thing we had for training were textbooks and a workbook. We had an instructor who was more a warden than a teacher. There were no aids such as slideshows or movies, just books. After I became a journeyman, the IBEW local had some update training. Again, practically all books and lectures. I remember a time when a contractor presented a seminar on the National Electrical Code. His seminar consisted of reading out of a code book. It was boring. It was around 1983 when I first heard of IAEI. I was an electrical contractor in Sheridan, Wyoming. I received a mailer from IAEI. It was rather crude by today's standards, but I remember thinking this will make me a smarter electrician and contractor. At the time, there was not an active chapter in Wyoming, so my only exposure to IAEI was the magazine. In 1986, I returned to Cheyenne and was appointed Chief Electrical Inspector for the state of Wyoming. I attended the annual meeting of the Rocky Mountain chapter in Denver that year. Wyoming at this time was part of the Rocky Mountain chapter. I was very impressed. They had slides to back up presentations and several circuit riders who shared their wisdom with the large attendance. I was hooked and became quite active in IAEI. In the early 90s, computers became popular, and through the years, IAEI's presentations were placed on discs for use on a computer. This was the ultimate. You could put a large presentation on a computer and carry it with you wherever you wanted to go. All you needed was a compatible projector at your destination. Now large presentations or files can be transmitted all over the world in an instant over the internet. Today, we are involved in a meeting where our attendees are hundreds of miles apart. We can see each other and talk to each other. No one would have believed this possible 50 years ago. It would have been considered magic. The point of my rambling is that although there are other providers, some good and some not so good, IAEI has been the industry education leader in the past, is today, and will continue to be the leader in the future. Thanks to a deadly virus and the need for education, we are embarking in a new direction for education possibilities. The in-person seminar and meetings will not be replaced by the virtual seminars. The virtual seminar will be one more tool in the box to offer education to all. Our promise is IAEI will continue to meet the challenge and lead the electrical industry's thirst for knowledge in the future as it has in the past. Thanks for hearing me out.
Thanks, Mike. Very valuable historical perspective over, 63 years. Truly amazing. And you have, for many, many years, been considered an icon with the IAEI. But, you know, we talk about this pandemic and, you know, what the impact has actually been. And quite frankly, when we look at you know how we actually engage the membership has radically changed, and really I think you know we can paint this picture that you know that's a bad thing that's happened with the COVID-19. Absolutely, terrible thing there. But you know the board of directors at the Western Section, and I think this holds true in the other sections across the organization, is you know everybody has been looking at different ways to engage members and provide more value for members in the organization. And quite frankly, COVID-19 just kind of catapulted us to that level sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
So kind of interested in what everyone's thoughts are on this and where you think things may be headed, just not in the near future, but down the road, maybe a couple of years. Where do you see education and engagement? Do you think it's going to go completely to virtual, or do you think it'll be a hybrid of that, some virtual, some in person? Or do you think we'll roll back to pre-COVID-19 levels and we'll see everything going back to in-person meetings? So interested in the thoughts from the panel.
Yeah, I'll kick that off. I think there's a fear in the industry that a lot of the in-person training may go away, which I don't think that'll ever be replaced by online educational materials. But I think that the educational materials online can help supplement a lot of that information that's being done in classrooms. And I know from a Western Section perspective, we had that conversation. I know Don Iverson brought that up as well, that we don't want to necessarily replace our Western Section meetings, but I think our Western Section meetings might change a little bit in the future, but they'll still be in person when we can get there.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I really think that the important face-to-face is really going to be where folks can get a lot of good answers to their questions, build those relationships around with individuals around the country. So when they do come across a real issue in the field, they know where to reach out and get that information. Although I would agree, YouTube, all those different virtual type platforms are a really good way to get information out there.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating since March how much technology has really grown. Similar to the activity with remote inspections with the new NFPA document 915 that's being looked at. Where's the industry as a whole going for inspections? Education's similar going to that. So it's going to be exciting to see in the next 5-10 years where of the COVID, how things have really progressed in the industry because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to touch briefly again on the Western Section meeting in particular, one of the things that I have always held real high as a value of my membership in the IAEI is that networking opportunity. And when you think in terms of networking, when you're at the Western Section meeting or any other educational conference you may attend, some folks are a little leery about stepping up to the microphone to ask a question, right? So being in those type of venues gives them the opportunity to maybe ask their question offline with that face-to-face interaction. That's why I don't think we're going to see it go away completely. In fact, what I see is, really, I see this as an opportunity to more frequently reach out to our members throughout the year, as opposed to just coming together for one big meeting once a year and leveraging this technology to further enhance the benefit of being a member of the IAEI.
Yeah, I'd like to just echo that. I think most of us, we think of our normal face-to-face meetings we have, which are great meetings. All the sections have great meetings, and the Western Section kind of stands out there a little different. And the camaraderie of all the section meetings, and specifically the Western Section meeting, those sidebar conversations and so forth, where you get to, that's where we pick up a lot of information. You have contact person to person with those circuit riders and so forth. That's great. And I don't think that'll go away. We'll be back to that, maybe not to the level that we were before. But what we're doing in our virtual training, there's a lot more opportunities there also. Yeah. So there's, you don't have to travel, and you can go back and you can even review those YouTube or the virtual training at your own convenience. So that education is out there, and that education will be there at your fingertips whenever you need it. But once again, as we pointed out here, we're still going to be going back to, hopefully we're going to be going back to our face-to-face and and have what we had before, but at the same time, take advantage of what we have to offer you through our virtual training.
Yeah, you know, the platform that we have now, especially now that we have a YouTube channel, which I'll remind everybody who's watching this, subscribe to the Western Section YouTube channel. Hit the bell too. So when you subscribe to something on YouTube and you hit the bell, you'll be notified anytime we post new material or we go live like this. And I think, Tim, you touched on it, and Dawn, you touched on it too. You know, we can't replace that in-person relationship building, but with this platform that we have now, we can start to deliver and contact more people to raise awareness of who IAEI is and all of that history that Mike just talked about, and why it's so important to get engaged with that organization and build the relationships, because, you know, we've got each of us who get involved with teaching sessions and things like that. And it's important that we share that information, and we can do that in this platform. We'll have this channel, this video will be posted on our YouTube site. We'll have that up there for others to watch at later times. And so the views will start ramping up and whatnot, and more people will just become more and more aware of who the IAEI really is. So I just muted you, Mike, because we were getting some background noise.
Yeah, it's a lot of background noise.
Yeah, that's okay. But you know, I think those were some really good key points to make sure everybody understands that Western Section's in-person meeting is not going to go away. This year, we just couldn't do it. That's all there is to it.
Well, and the other thing, if I might add, Tom Dimitrovich, is you know, the vendor show. You're not going to get the same effect when you visit the exhibitor booths. You know, the manufacturers that you know provide their products to meet the requirements of the NEC. You know, the testing labs, the IAEI International, they also have a booth. So that's some of the stuff that, you know, you really miss out on. So again, I would emphasize that, you know, I think this, you know, the timing of this is good from the standpoint of we can really leverage this technology and really enhance the value of being a member of the IAEI by providing this online training now and also in the future. Not to mention, you know, the average attendance at the annual section meeting. We have a little over 3,000 members in the Western Section IAEI. Unfortunately, it would be great if every year we would have 3,000 people attend the section meeting, but not everyone has been able to attend it. So providing it in this format actually opens up the door and the opportunity to show those members what IAEI in the Western Section does have to offer. So really, this is kind of serving as a stopgap, if you will.
Yep. And that was, I think that's an important aspect. It's a stopgap, and we're building a foundation for the future.
Exactly.
I see we got David Williams out there watching, and Gary Line. So thanks for those two guys joining in and letting us know they're there. Please let us know you're here in that chat session.
Yes. Hello, gentlemen, and
Yep.
Jeff Taylor. And so I think with that, this is probably a good point to move on to the next segment.
Sure.
Tom Dimitrovich is going to walk us through what that educational agenda is going to look like for next month. So, Tom.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, Mr. McClintock. Jeff Taylor made a good point that he thinks that we may find higher web attendance. Many jurisdictions have budget limitations, which is a good point. You know, I know in the Southern Section, Donnie Cook has not gone to some programs because he's letting some of the younger guys in his office go, and he's back at the farm watching for inspections. So this whole concept of, you know, it could be there's a virtual part of our in-person Western Section meetings in the future as well. So, you know, we can get more people engaged. So I appreciate Jeff bringing that up. And we got Dan Riddle in the house. So we're getting good people. And Ralph Hudson, thanks for everybody out in Arkansas and crew showing up. So what I'm going to do is just talk a little bit about the education program, because I know everybody out there is thinking about it. We are usually, our program goes from Sunday to Wednesday. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, right? We start
That's correct.
Sunday in the evening and we have our little get-togethers, and then we have technical programs Monday through Wednesday and half-day Wednesday. So this session is going to be a week-long event, but we've split it up so that we have AM and PM sessions, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon. The morning sessions start at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, and 8 a.m. Mountain. Okay, I got that one. And then you got we start the afternoon sessions 2 p.m. Eastern, and we work back your way, depending upon your time zones. And I we struggled as a committee, as an education committee, and an executive board for the Western Section on how do we do this? Do we do it all one lump sum, have one whole day of watching, or do we try to break it up? And the thought process was, our butts and our minds can probably deal with 2 hours at a time. So that's sort of what we did. So we can give you your lunches. We're not buying lunches. You don't have to pay for lunches. And then you can take the break and then come back for the afternoon section. And I will say, stay tuned, because we're also talking about bringing an R&R ranch session in the evenings, where we all know what goes on in the R&R ranch with regard to sharing knowledge and building relationships, in regard to sharing information. That's a lot of work. A lot of technical stuff gets talked about. So we're talking about, in addition, not CEU credit, just a evening type of sessions. If we can get some industry partners or industry people talking, we might have those sessions as well. So if you've registered, you will have that opportunity to be aware of those opportunities as well.
And
All right.
if I may, Tom, just want to give a shout out. I see Laura Hildreth with the International Office of the IAEI has joined us. So
Awesome.
Hello, Laura.
Wow, thank you. Thanks for joining us, Laura. We got Jeff Taylor, Gary Line, a lot of good people online. So let's talk about each day now. Day one, the AM session, Chad Kennedy from Schneider Electric is going to kick us off with service entrance installations. Now, service entrance installations are all over the place, right? I mean, if you've got a structure, you've got a service if you're pulling power to it. So one of the messages I got as educational chair from our board and from others on our committee and our committees was we should be getting back to basics a little bit. So you're going to see some basic topics and some deep dives on in areas that everybody deals with on a daily basis. So Chad's going to kick us off with service entrance installations, and there were a lot of changes in the 2020 code cycle that impact service entrance installations. In the afternoon, I know we talked about, would we be able to do a code panel? Everything is possible in a virtual world. So we are going to do a code panel, and I think the code panel is got, like, the code panel 1, it's going to be moderated by Tim McClintock. We're going to have Ray Horner, Tom Moore, Keith Laughlin, and Dean Hunter. So it's the Magic 5 again. So and everybody that, you guys as well, Tom and Mike and crew, our code panel will probably look very similar to what we have here. I've got a PowerPoint being displayed down below. Each member is going to pick up their questions. Tim is going to make sure that everybody's going in order, and then we'll be able to take questions via the chat session. I see Neha just joined us as well, and you can always ask questions in the chat session, and Tim McClintock's going to be making sure that we answer those questions from everybody. So that's day one. Day two, we're going to get basics of motors, and Dan Neeser from Eaton's Busman Division is going to bring that home for us, focusing on motor installation requirements. Motors are all over the place, so getting back to basics theme. We're going to have a second code panel in the afternoon. If the code panel 1 goes is great, which I'm sure it will, we're going to have a code panel 2. And again, Tim McClintock's going to moderate that for us, try to keep consistency. This is our first virtual event, so we're going to have some consistency in the people that you're going to be seeing. Dawn Iverson, David Williams, Borgie, and Steve Fromming. Borgie Noel and Steve Fromming are going to be on that panel. And again, it's the Magic 5. So very similar format to what you see right now is how we're going to run that one. And then we have the AM session, basic transformer installation requirements. Think about it. We hit service entrance equipment. Every building has one. Motors. It's kind of hard not to find a motor in a structure. And transformers are all around us as well. So Joe Andre is going to bring us home with regard to the transformer installations. And Joe, Tim and crew, Joe he's with the Steel Tube Institute?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to make sure I got that right. So, and Joe's representing the Steel Tube Institute. He's a very knowledgeable individual, and if you've never been to a Western Section meeting before or a section meeting, Joe goes to a lot of section meetings, as do the other presenters as well. So what you're seeing are these individuals are heavily involved with the code process, and they're all over the country. So they bring a lot to the table with regard to their extensive knowledge and experience. So. And Joe's going to share his knowledge on transformer installation requirements. And then we have case studies. Another thing that we focused on from from a Western Section board perspective, and from the education, and hearing from those out in who've come to Western Section meetings before, bring things down to earth. And what a better way to bring things down to earth is to actually go through real world case studies. And Dean Hunter and David Williams are going to walk through an inspection for us and how inspections are performed. So we're going to get that background on what an inspector's doing, what they're looking at, what's in their head when they're looking at your installation. Every electrician wants to know that, right? Tim McClintock, he's going to be taking a look at arc fault circuit interrupters and the success stories around that. Unfortunately, and you guys know this, I mean, we've been in the code process for how long? We always focus on statistics of deaths, statistics of fires, statistics of shock, and the bad things from electricity. But what Tim and I are going to do, Tim's going to look at what are the success stories that we have around arc fault circuit interrupters. What kinds of problems are we finding out in the industry in their general application, based on some NEMA documented cases. And then I'm going to bring forward a case study, a specific case study from a heavy industrial that leveraged arc reduction technologies to save some lives, and save equipment and reduce downtime. So mine's going to be a really short one, but together, again, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 of us, so probably a similar format. But Dave and Dean are working together. Tim's going to present, and then I'm going to present. That's day 3. Day 4 AM session, case study field evaluations. Christine Porter, Intertech, right? Intertech. Okay, I want to make sure I got that right.
Yep.
And nationally recognized testing laboratory. She does a lot of field evaluations. She's going to bring us down to earth with regard to what goes on in a field evaluation. If that's ever been in your mind on how do I get this done? Is it complicated? Am I opening up a can of worms by saying I need a NERDL in here to a nationally recognized testing laboratory or somebody's qualified for doing field evaluations? Am I opening up a can of worms by calling those individuals? What are they going to do? She's going to walk us through a real world example. And then the PM session, interconnected systems tapping into the service. Mr. Bill Brooks, I know he has his own firm, so and he's was instrumental, if I'm not mistaken, in helping the IAEI write their curriculum or their documents on photovoltaic systems, but and he's on code making panel 4, so very knowledgeable individual, and we're going to be, I guess, it's going to get really detailed on all the code requirements and how it's done. He does it on a daily basis, so we're going to talk about that interconnection at our point of service entrance equipment, and then bringing it home. Tom Lichtenstein, Underwriters Laboratories. He is going to bring it all together and talk about reconditioning, and he's got some icing on the cake with regard to his program. He's got 2 hours. I don't think he's going to fill 2 hours on reconditioning, so he's got some other materials that you will be able to, you'll know exactly what he's going to talk about when you get into the registration. Down below in this YouTube link, you're going to see links to all the registrations, which I'll walk through, and I'll show you how to get that done. But I just want to make sure you can register one at a time, or you can register for the entire week, and we're gonna walk through that as well. But that is the technical program, and I guess
so.
I don't know if you want to take any questions?
Yeah, Tom. I'm looking at the chat bar, and I'm not seeing any questions from the audience. So just again, as a reminder, when we get to the end here, there will be an opportunity if you have any questions. So if there's something you think about after we've already gone over the educational agenda, bring it up, and we'll be happy to address it. So
Yep.
not seeing any questions from the audience. I'll now turn it back over to you, Tom, to walk us through on how to actually register for the different sessions.
Perfect. Now, I just noticed that I see Dan Riddles noted from Indiana said that he sorry if he caused some background noise. We can't hear any of you guys and gals.
Oh.
So remember to use the chat box to ask your questions. Don't worry about your background noise. Put your headphones on and focus on us, because we're going to show you some really cool information on how to register for this event next here.
Other than I think I can hear Mr. Forrester's fax machine in the background, but
is that right? That's okay. All right, so we're leveraging a new tool called Eventbrite, and this organization is an online organization that basically this is what they do. They help people register for events. This is the first time for the Western section to use this tool. It might be used in the future depending upon your feedback and how good this goes. I've used this myself, and I know other people have used it, so I think that and we used it for this program too. So if you did use this and register for this event, let us know your experience with it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What are things to fix? And you can always send that information to myself or Tim McClintock or any one of us or Don Iverson. Just contact us. Let us know your experience in that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through a registration, and I'll point out some important details that I think you need to know. Well, the down here or over there is the registration. So when you click on one of those links, this is sort of what you see. And this, what I'm showing you, is the online registration for the entire week. You can do an a la carte, which means...
Hey, Tom?
Yes.
Tom, is it possible for you to go full screen with the web page?
Oh, yes, I can. Hold on.
Yeah, I think that would be better for the viewers to be able to follow along. There
you go. So one of the things to remember is that you can register for the entire week, or you can register a la carte, which you can do each individual session. So if you wanted to attend Chad Kennedy's service entrance, and you only needed 2 CEU credits, you can do that. Or you can pick maybe Transformers and Motors and service entrance. So whatever you want to do, you can pick it a la carte, or you can sign up for the whole thing. I'm going to show you how to register. It'll be the same process no matter which event you pick, whether it's the whole week or an individual. One thing I'll point out is over here on the top right-hand side, you'll notice that this is an IAEI Western Section Eventbrite registration. And if you click follow, which I've already done, you'll be able to get notifications anytime we register or create another event. It'll let you know that that the IAEI Western Section is going to have another one, and we're opening registration. You'll see there's an image that gives you a little overview, and then down underneath the image has all of the information for each of the sessions that pertains to this registration. So you'll notice all of what I just talked about: service entrance installations with Chad Kennedy, Code Panel 1, chaired by Tim McClintock, basic motor installations. So all of that information is right here. There's our Code Panel 1 members, our Code Panel 2 members, and then there's a link to the program if you want to download that. But remember, that program was developed based upon us having an in-person meeting. So if you see stuff in there about Peoria, Illinois, and all the other good stuff, obviously we're not going to be in Peoria. Now, the important, where the meat and potatoes is on this, you have the details for the date and time. You can add this to your calendar straight from here. For some of us where the calendars, if you're not running about 7 or 8 calendars like some of us, Tom Moore, anyway, click the tickets. You can click the ticket, and this is where you will enter your information, excuse me, for registering. Now, I'm going to highlight this enter promo code to recognize that you will, as an IAEI member, you're going to get an email from Mr. Don Iverson that lets you know that this event is occurring, and you will receive a registration code. As an IAEI member, you will get a discount for the event. For the whole week registration, it's a 50% discount, pretty significant. So, if you're not an IAEI member, I would highly suggest you join. There's a lot of other benefits, which we can talk about, magazine, etc. But you also get discounts to events like this. So 50% discount off of the price for the whole week, and then it's a $10 discount because it's a lot, it's less money for each individual. So, and you'll see that once you go to register. You'll enter your promo code. You have to click that. I think I called mine demo, and I'm going to hit apply. And there it is. So because I'm demonstrating, I did not want to pay the fee and have to do that. So I gave myself a discount code of 100%. But for IAEI members, there will be a special code for you all to get that, and you'll get a 50% discount. And then you hit checkout. You'll enter, after you check out, you'll enter any of your credit card information to do your payments and all that good stuff, and all that's taken care of by Eventbrite. You'll put your contact information in here, and you'll put your first name, last name, email address. And this is the type of information that we're looking for. Some of it is mandatory, required. Some of it isn't. You don't necessarily have to give us your cell phone number if you don't want us to have it. Your company information, your work address, a lot of that is mandatory. Your IAEI number, not mandatory, but preferred, especially if you're going for the discount. If you're going for CEU credits, we want you to supply your last 4 digits of your Social Security number. That is, again, only used for CEU credits. It's not shared with anybody else, and it's basically what we do for all of our Western Section meetings and others when we do our CEU credits. We ask a couple questions. Is this your first Western Section meeting, yes or no? And then you have the option to be kept up to date on latest news and events and exclusive offers, etc. So that's the opt-in stuff that we can tell you and contact you whenever we're doing stuff like this. And then once you fill that information out, the little register button will become, I think, green and let you register. If that button doesn't turn green, that means there's a required field up here that you did not fill out. So remember to fill that out. I'm not going to, actually I will. I'm going to put my information in here and my company, Eaton, my address. I don't have a work phone. I don't know my IAEI number. I'm not going to put that in. Last 4 digits, I can't remember what my Social Security number is, but I'm not going to go for CEU credits. I'm going to say no to that, and then you see I get register. So when I hit register, we'll just take you through the whole experience. Figure might as well. Now, an email was sent to, at least that email address. It wasn't my email address, but we have an IAEI Western Section Live Gmail account. So a ticket has been sent to that email address. I can view my ticket. I can click for following if I want to view my ticket. This is what you get. You'll see that I've registered for the week-long event. And this is basically gets me in there. I can go to the online event page. And what that gets you is a link to every one of the sessions. So this is the 10 a.m. session, Service Entrance Deep Dive. This is the 2 o'clock p.m. session, and that is the Code Panel 1. So you'll get an email before these occur as well. We'll let you know about it. This is the link that has all of the YouTube links for you so that you're able to see that information. And that's pretty much the registration and all I had to show on how that's done. So hopefully it's easy for you. Hopefully you used the Eventbrite program to register for this event. And I don't know if there's any. Did you see any chat stuff going in there with regard to?
I didn't see any questions directly related to the registration process. Do see a question here? New products from Armin's. New product, have not seen any review on SIMs, rigid shark bite couplings and connectors. I would like a review from the inspection side. So I'm not sure. I think there is one manufacturer that makes a product that's called a SIM push, rigid connector or rigid coupling. When I think in terms of shark bite, I think in terms of plumbing type. I know they make a shark bite coupling or connector that's used in plumbing. But at any rate, maybe this is related, Tom D, to the case study with the inspection. I don't know if whenever Dave and Dean put together their program, if they've encountered this type of product or not, but definitely worth looking into. But I have no personal experience with the type of product that's being described in the question. And if it's a new product, it may take a while before we start to see it being installed in the field.
Yeah, I see Jeff Taylor had a question. Can someone watch the YouTube video at a later date and still get CEU credits, not Q credits? We're not playing pool, Jeff. But that's okay. We're going to forgive you on that one. So I'll tell you how we're going to do the CEU credits. At the beginning of the session, we're going to display a code, which we use Mentimeter for that. We display a code at the beginning. Anybody who needs CEU credits will sign in using that code online. We're going to watch the program. At the end of the program, I'm going to put a different code up. And everybody who is still there will sign into that using that code and sign out of the program. Those people who sign in and out and who are registered and paid will be able to they'll get CEU credits. After the fact, that is only valid when we are live. The sum of this information will be posted online so that you can view it. That will be dependent upon the materials. In some cases, for example, a presenter may say some of this is proprietary information or what do you call that? Copyrighted materials. We may not be able to put it online after the fact, but those who registered should be able to have access to that after the fact for a period of time. But hopefully some of this material we'll be able to put on our YouTube site for general viewing. But in any case, we can't do CEU credits after that live event. The CEU credits will only be available during that event. Because I can't keep track of who was there in the beginning, who was there at the end, all that good stuff. And we want to make sure that we can, if anybody ever questions, was Tim McClintock actually there? I can't see you. And if you think about how we do live events, you sign in at the back of the room, you sign out, nobody's looking at every individual. Were they there so many more minutes? Was he playing on his phone, not paying attention? I can't tell you that, but I can tell you, you were there at the beginning, you were there at the end. I can give you a CEU credit. No problem, Jeff. I had to call you out.
So Tom, I have one quick question. Back on your registration, and for multiple purposes, you didn't fill out your IAEI membership number. Is that IAEI membership number going to be required for the promo?
So if they're putting that promo in, on the registration, I can't tie that together. If they're putting the promo in and they didn't put their IAEI member number in, we can flag that and contact that person via email to get that registration, to get their membership number. I don't have a way to tie those two together. I can always try to do that. You know what? No, I don't know if I can do that.
I guess it's important to let the audience know that it's beneficial for all of us if you do put your number in.
Yeah, please put your IAEI membership number in. Because this is a YouTube event, I know we're probably going to get a lot of people who aren't. I hope we get a lot of people who aren't IAEI members that will be future members, right? Our goal is to go get at least one person signed up to IAEI because that builds our presence, that builds our network of individuals. So our goal here too, in addition to providing education, this is an opportunity to show the value that IAEI brings to the table. So, and Tom, to your point, we have a platform now. We are probably going to have future events that are going to be for IAEI members only on our channels. So being an IAEI member will bring value to being getting you opened up to other educational either online or in-person events. Cool. I see Jeff Grassi said the audio and video are crisp and clear. That's a good thing, Jeff. Thanks for that feedback. We're always worried about audio and video are two critical things in this world. I did see, I think Jeff said that registration went smoothly for him, so I appreciate that feedback as well. And we got Nihad El Sharif from Canada. So I don't know, I don't know how many people we're going to get on this, but if you're outside of the country, that's the other thing too. Let us know what country you're from. If you're not a U.S., I mean, we have a lot of people from U.S. Or let us know what state you're out of as well, because the Western Section. So, Mike Forster, what states does the Western Section cover again?
What states does it cover?
Yeah, I know West Virginia's in there.
West Virginia is the east side. Wyoming's the west side, and it's everything in between.
There we go.
And not too far south.
Yeah, not too far south, because Texas, I think Texas is the southern section,
in Oklahoma.
Right?
Yeah.
We go down
17
to Oklahoma.
states in the Western Section.
How many?
17.
17 states. Excellent.
We go down to our friends in Arkansas.
Oh, is that Arkansas? Jeff Grassi's there from Ohio.
We had Ralph Hudson from Arkansas. Always good to see Ralph.
Yeah. Jeff Taylor's just said, will this seminar be publicly available? Where can it be found by Google search? Okay, here's what we're doing. This seminar right now, we're doing live on the Western Section YouTube channel. I'm putting in, what are they call these little tags. I don't know what the tags are, but in any case, it is going to be on the YouTube Western Section. In fact, what I might do, Mr. McClintock, with your permission, what if I call up the YouTube site? You think?
By all means, yes. While you're doing that, Jack Bowling had a question for Mike. Are we going to get a paper registration?
Oh,
maybe I should talk about that here in a minute.
I think that. Yeah, you should talk about that.
Yeah. If you'd like.
So go ahead, Don.
I can do it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead, Don.
So here in the coming days, we will be sending out a notice, very similar to how you got the notice for today's event, for the registration, where it'll give you that information on each day, what that event is going to be on each day, and then of course, the most importantly, the link to it, where you can go in and fill out the information that Tom Dimitrovich took you through just a few minutes ago. So in the probably coming days, first next week, you'll be seeing an informs email through the Western Section for that information. So again, be watching for that email from the Western Section here in the coming days. Looking forward to it. It'll be a good event.
Awesome. Thanks, Don. Yeah, Don is going to make sure that everybody's updated, right? Now, I will show you. This is the Western Section YouTube website. You'll notice right now it says live now. If I clicked on this, I would watch what we're doing right now, but probably that's another thing to remember. Remember that there is a slight delay, right? So when you ask your questions, if we don't respond immediately, that means that what you're watching is probably about a minute old, okay? And that happens in TV world, and it can be frustrating when you're on this side of everything, trying to watch yourself. But just be mindful of that we will be watching those chat sessions, and we will be responding to those. It just might not be exactly when you asked it. But so right now, what you'll see on the Western Section, we have 15 subscribers. So thank you. Remember, subscribe and hit the bell. And right now, you'll see that we have the Western Section announcement. So that's live. And if you go to videos, you'll see all of our videos, which this is the first video. We will be creating playlists. So right now we have a Western Section Memories playlist, which I found, these are just YouTube videos that I found online that were related to the Western Section. We will probably create some channels. So what you'll see in the channels area, it would be, for example, actually I think that's playlists. These are like other channels that we might be subscribing to that you'll have access to. So any of the other sections or IAEI groups, we'll probably be advertising those opportunities as well. We'll be able to have discussion points. We can add comments, etc. And then here's our about, which I'm still in the process of filling all of this information, but we'll have some detailed information about that. So, but in any case, you know, that this is, as you can see, this is our first YouTube video, but it's basically describing our upcoming Western Section, and we will be working hard in the coming year and, you know, months to populate more information up here for you.
And so I see there's another comment in the chat bar from Jeff Taylor. If we could create a brochure, MoCan, or I'm assuming that's Missouri, Kansas, would distribute to distributor sales counters and email blast for impact. So I'm not sure what was planned for, whether or not there was going to be any physical printed brochures, but I know Don Iverson is working on putting together an email blast that I'm sure could be shared with people outside of the Western Section. Don, you want to speak to that?
That's correct, Tim. Actually, pre-COVID, we had a really nice, colorful, shiny brochure that we developed to do a paper, so to speak, on a printing. But what we're going to do this time, we will send out the email where they're more than welcome to forward that link on for the upcoming event. So a little bit different than we normally do, but again, this year is kind of a challenging year, if you will, when it comes to this type of work.
Yeah,
but we're going to get through it, and it's going to be good. And then when we meet next year, I think it's going to make it even better when people start meeting face to face again and renewing those relationships. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and the other thing too, I know, Don, since you're going to send out that email that'll have links and whatnot, if put it on your social media. You know, put it on your Facebook sites, put it on your LinkedIn sites. If your distributor or various electrical contractors in your area have websites, have them, you know, ask them to place that information on their websites, because we're in a digital world, and if they can put those links on websites, that would be awesome. And get them to subscribe to the Western Section, because here's the thing: if they subscribe to the Western Section YouTube site, the more subscribers we have, the more options we get to do some great things with regard to creating special events that have like membership associated with it, and the more chance and likelihood we get of getting our information shared on other YouTube sites and other social media avenues. So, you know, spread the news about the channel, spread the news about all of this good stuff, and Dawn's going to get you all that information and get that done. So it's good stuff. All right, I see Greg Lines on making some comments. Available to non-members on Google. Okay, Jeff Taylor, good question. Anybody can watch a YouTube video. I don't believe you need to have a Google account. I don't believe you need to have a Google account to watch a YouTube video. But if you want to ask questions, if you want to use that chat bar, I believe you've got to have a Google registration, which is not, there's no cost to it. But and I think they do that for a few reasons. When you start chatting, what you don't want is that kid who wants to stay anonymous to put stuff in that chat box that's not good. Okay, so they want that recognition, traceability on who's chatting and who's doing things on these events. So, but yeah, that's an important thing, that if you want to use the chat feature, if you want to ask questions, you will have to have a Google account.
So, Tom, if I may, maybe this is where Jeff was going with this question is, we are going to be providing this as a benefit to our members. But if once it goes on the web, what's to stop a non-member from being able to access that? Are you going to be able to have some doors in place that certain videos will only be accessible via a member, where others may be open to the general public?
Yeah. So there will be, as I noted, there will be some events like during the Western section. I haven't asked every presenter yet if their material is shareable on YouTube, and we probably won't open all of our material on YouTube because people paid for that. It would be nice to have one or two sessions that lets people know what type of quality educational materials that the Western section has to offer. The other materials will still be up on our YouTube channel, but not everybody can get to it or even know it's there. Those who have registered will have the links to be able to get to that information and view that and view that material. But it's not going to be where you can go to our YouTube channel and see all of those links to all of those presentations because they're all hidden, basically. So that's sort of how that's gonna roll.
So Jeff, I hope that answered your question, and I see that Mr. Jody Wages from the international office also joined us, and he says, "Happy retirements wishes to Mike, quote, the dude Forrester. We'll miss you dearly, Mike."
Yes.
And then Grant Hammett wanted to know if he could use Tom's promo code to get the discount.
Well, I'll tell you what, Grant, I thought about that already. And here's what I did. There's only one registration allowed for that one, and I already used it. And that was part of it. It's funny was I wasn't going to hit that registration button, but in the back of my mind, you know what I was thinking? I have to because I've got one ticket available for that registration code. So I used it. Sorry, buddy. I was thinking, man, I got to use this because someone else could just basically register for the whole week with that code. So got you covered, Grant, but you're a thinker. That's for sure. Could a Google search for
Grant Hammett?
Okay, so Jeff Taylor says, could a Google search for service entrance education point to the section page, not necessarily to the event?
He's talking about Google search engine.
Yes.
Is where he's going with this question. Okay.
Yep. And I'll tell you what, I'm not the greatest with regard to figuring out how to get higher in the Google search, but I do know what they call meta tags. And in the configuration of our videos, you can put tags in there, and I try to load them up with regard to, I put IAEI, I'll put service entrance, I'll put all these different words in there so that if you're searching on Google, you may find it. I can't guarantee it. And I don't know how to impact our IAEI website on if IAEI can try to put some of those meta tags associated with our links, but we're going to do the best we can. And that's another reason why viewing and signing up and subscribing to our channel will help us become higher in some of those search engines, because what Google does is if you've got one follower and you start posting material, they're going to ignore you, Google. But if you have a lot of followers and you have a lot of chat going on like this, they'll recognize you as a provider that is engaging with the audience. And then when someone is on YouTube and you're using your phone and you're flipping through videos and you're watching a video, you know how they'll do the suggested videos based upon your profile and what you've been looking at? They'll suggest our videos. So subscribe, comment, ask questions, hit the like button. All of those things helps get you higher in the marketing program from Google perspective, from YouTube. So YouTube will start promoting your video for you because it's got so much engagement. So, ask the questions, chat, and things like that. Very important.
And great comment, Jeff. Taylor followed up with the Google search engine could help find those future members. And Tom,
Absolutely.
you covered it well as to how we can better position the Western section to be kind of the go-to resource on Google whenever somebody is searching for education.
Absolutely. And then once they find us, Tim, we are going to share with them the IO. The international office is doing
Right.
educational programs, right? And we'll have some material, but the IO has got programs going on all the time, and through our programs, we're going to be advertising the fact that there are other programs out there, and we'll have links to their websites in all of our program materials and things of that nature. So we have a great. I don't know. I know Dawn. I met Dawn Iverson. I met Tim McClintock and Tom Moore and Mike through IAEI meetings, and it's benefited me from a professional development, from a technical knowledge perspective. I know I can pick up the phone and talk to my IAEI friends all the time and ask code questions, or hey, what's a good scotch, right, Mike? All that good stuff. So we can build an online presence and an online relationships as well. Good question, though.
Yep.
You see, Grant says, "Bummer." I spoiled his day.
Sorry, Grant.
Yeah. Well, we've got about 33. I don't know what our peak was, but we're at 33 people. So people hitting the like button, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. So we
Well, again, this is going to be posted for anybody to go in and view. So you can share that link with your colleagues. And likewise, we'll probably get some folks visiting the site afterwards that can view the video as well.
Absolutely. Share it on your social media. Cool. So we've got the week. We just put that footer up. September 21st through 25th. Those are the dates. Mark your calendars. The links for subscriptions are in the below. Dawn Iverson over here. He is going to send out that notification. So we're going to let everybody know. Register, share it with your friends and family and all that good stuff. Get as many people online as we can get. It will not, that's the other thing is, you're not just going to be able to go out to the Western Section YouTube site when this event's going on and see the live event. That's going to be hidden. No one's going to get it unless you register. Did we miss anything?
So just to add a little bit of levity here at the end of the program, I know we're wrapping things up, but with the digital tools that we have now with doing online meetings and so forth, can't help but think every time I go into a meeting like this, I feel like the opening part of the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
With the
I was thinking.
So I need to look up at you guys, right?
Yeah. But what's funny is what I'm looking at is different. So I got to point to my left to point to him who's on my right on the screen. Yeah. We could touch each other. You know what I was thinking was it the Brady Bunch or is it the Hollywood Squares? That's what I like. Hollywood Squares.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. It's all good stuff. So what did we miss? Did we miss anything, guys?
I don't think so.
I think we covered everything in great detail, and not seeing any additional comments. Looks like Borgie Knoll, our Western Section president, just joined us here at the tail end. So
perfect timing.
Hello, Borgie.
Yeah. If Borgie,
Borgie had an excuse. He had an excused absence. So
if you want to say some things, Borgie, let me know. I can tie you in via phone. I can call you and you can say some words if you wanted to. I don't know if you're in a good zone for that, but excellent, Grant. Thank you for the feedback. Thanks for the feedback. This is good stuff. All right. Well, we said, Tim, it was going to be about an hour, right? We thought we would be done.
And we're
about
just a touch over. So
yeah.
Again, even at the conclusion of this, if you have any questions, any additional questions, feel free to reach out to, any of us, and we'd be happy to provide that information.
Yeah, let me
Looks like Borgie says yes, so
yeah,
I don't know if that's, yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can get him. Hold on. I'm using the 8209 number. I don't know if that's the right one, but we're gonna try. Oh, this is like, I feel like a news, News 11. We're flying in a chopper. We see Borgie.
Jody Forster doesn't need any scotch. Eileen would not approve of scotch being sent to him, but I'm sure Mike would like that.
Hey, Tim, do you have
A case would be fine.
Do you have Borgie's cell phone number? You can text me.
Yes.
He's not answering that. I think that's a work number.
Well, I think that's the only number I have is his work number.
All right.
What number did you call?
I got it. I got the mobile number.
Oh, it's ringing.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Borgie, I'm going to put you online with everybody, okay? All right. I don't know if you guys, if Tom Moore and you guys can hear him, but he is live. Borgie, are you there?
I'm here.
Awesome. Well, we just did our session, and we let everybody know about the Western Section. Apologize for not, I know you had a conflict with opening up the session, but you can close it for us. Would you like to share anything with everybody? You're live.
Well, I guess I was working on the ICC code questions for the 2020 exam. That's what I was doing.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, so you're going to be on code panel, which one?
Code panel 6.
Yeah, he's code panel 6, code making panel 6, and I think he's on the second code panel with regard to for the second day in the afternoon. And you are our El Presidente, right?
Yes, that's right.
Awesome. You excited about the Western Section going live this year?
Oh, I am.
Excellent.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Same here. I think everybody online has been having been very excited about it. We've got some good feedback and all that good stuff, and and we'll be able to see your pretty face too during the board meeting, because the board meeting is going to be live too. Did we pick the date for that and the time?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Forrester is working on that.
Yes. Yep. All right. So any words to wisdom to everybody on YouTube land? I know we're putting you on the spot. We just call you out of the blue. He's on his cell phone.
Oh, that's good. As far as I'm kind of excited to see the technology moving forward. I guess that's all I can really say.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you, what you do for safety, and willing to take a call on the fly. We didn't program that. This wasn't part of our plan, but it went okay, I guess.
Yes, it looked really good. I'm really impressed. See all the smiling faces on the screen.
Yes, we are. Yep. So, cool beans, Borgie. I appreciate you dialing in or letting us give you a call.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, take care, buddy.
You bet. Have a good day.
You too. All right. Well, we
And,
got him dialed.
Tom,
in.
it looks like we got some additional comments beyond where to send Mike's retirement scotch. Just Gerald O'Connor, great job. Thanks for all your hard work.
Awesome.
Somebody, trade inspector, great job. See you next month. Kenneth from Dora, that's Colorado.
Okay.
Great job and informative presentation. Looking forward to the Western Section meeting, and we're looking forward to seeing you there. Thanks, Jeff Grassi. And then Jeff Taylor, September 10th is the last day for input. I believe that is correct, and I'm assuming he's referring to submitting public inputs for the 2023 edition of the NEC.
Yeah. And Tim, I believe it's midnight on that day, not 5:00 p.m.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
about that?
I know on the website they've advertised that's like 5 o'clock p.m. But I know I've put public inputs in.
You need
after.
to mute Mike again.
Oh, there we go. I love it. He's muted. This is good stuff. And Michael, you're back. Are you
The
okay?
only way I can get attention anymore.
I love it. Well, that's okay. Jeff Taylor, 2023 code cycle. Absolutely.
Yep.
September 10th, last day for public inputs.
Yep.
And
Cool.
so, ultimately it's your code. So the only way it can change is if you submit public inputs and engage in the process.
Absolutely. Yep. Get involved. Get out of the way.
Yep.
I love when people complain. You say, make a public input. If you don't like it, make a PI. Awesome. All right. Well, we had good.
So Tom,
Yes.
you brought up the point, or someone brought up the point about the regular business meeting, and we are working on that. I know Dave Williams had questions about that also. So we will be virtually doing our annual business portion of the meeting. So the board of directors will have their regular meeting, and we will open that up to have the business type meeting that typically we would have on Tuesday. So everything fits in with what we're required to do as far as the bylaws. So that those meetings will be virtual also.
Awesome. Thank you.
And hey, Pam from Wisconsin. Hi, Pam. Good to hear from you.
Yep. She said she missed the beginning. She had the time wrong, but you know what, Pam? It's on YouTube, so we're gonna quiz you later. We're gonna send you an email, and we're gonna quiz you on the content from the first hour of this. So you got to go back and watch it from the beginning. I love it. This is good stuff. All right. Well, what do you think, guys? Anything?
I think we're ready to close this out.
Yeah. I think we did what we're
Looking
supposed
forward to everybody joining us next month, and I'm positive it'll come off with no hitches. Got Tom in the background doing his magic with the technology, and I think things will go very smoothly, and there will be great benefits. Even though we didn't get to see each of you in person this year, but in the future we will reconnect.
to. Yep. And Jeff, I didn't use EST. I didn't
No,
use EST.
who uses EST for a start time?
But here's the thing. You can't use EST. If I use EST, it's Mountain Time. It's EDT.
Right.
It's Eastern Daylight Time. So, and I got corrected on that already. Yeah, I know. I'm an Eastern. Well, everybody here is in the same, except for Mike. Jeez. We're all in the same time zone. It's everybody else who screwed up, right? Awesome. Any final words, Dawn? Any final words you want to say?
The only thing I'll say here in the coming days, we're sending out the registration to September's event.
Excellent.
And again, just look forward to seeing everyone.
Mr. Moore, parting words of wisdom.
Thank you, everyone who registered and came in today. I hope to see all of you throughout the week, and hopefully all of the different classes that we have, and hope to see you next year for a face-to-face meeting, and thank you for being loyal members of IAEI.
First of all, Mr. McClintock, any parting words?
Yeah, well, I think I've already shared
Okay.
my parting words, but
Yep.
I will. There's still comments coming in. Hello to Vince Delacroche.
Excellent.
And Gerald O'Connor wants to clarify that he is on Central Daylight Time, not Eastern Daylight Time.
Okay.
So again, looking forward
Jerry.
to the program next month.
Awesome. And Mr. Forrester, parting words.
He's going to just provide his address where Jody can send his scotch.
Yeah. It's a great meeting. I've learned a lot here the last couple of days. Wasn't even able to turn my computer on last week. Now I know how to. This has been great. So thanks everybody for showing up. And thanks all you people that attended. Look forward to seeing you.
Excellent.
And you're supposed to say, send lots of scotch.
Send lots of scotch.
Scotch tape?
Ah, come on. I don't have to explain that to you, do I?
That's okay. That's okay.
Mm.
All right. Well, I think we're good to go. Everybody knows the registration information is down below. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell. And when you go to registration, follow the registration on Eventbrite too for the Western section, because you'll get notifications there as well for future events. So, all right, everybody. Should I shut down the feed?
I think now is a good time.
Now is a good
thank
time.
you, everybody.
All right, everybody. Thank you, and stay safe and healthy. So we're gonna sign off. And I'm going to stop streaming in 3,